touch with our customers and promote giveaways. Enjoy the vehicle buying process without hidden fees or high-pressure sales at CMA.
Cooper Farms raises turkeys, hogs, and chickens for table eggs, using innovative, sustainable practices that protect our land, our water, and our animals. With over 2,500 team members and around 450 contract family farmers, we produce the highest quality essential food ingredients and products. Our family shares this legacy of stewardship with families, team members, our customers, and the community.
Where you're going and how you get there matters. Along the way, the right financial guidance can make all the difference. That's why there's Everence. Together, charting your path with a full range of caring financial services. For starting out, growing your future, caring for loved ones, and sharing with others. In a life of faith and impact, it's your financial journey. Let's go. Visit us at everence.com/Berne.
Take charge of your finances with Financial Partners. FCU's You Choose Rewards credit card options. Choose a fixed rate card with an APR as low as 8.00% for consistent payments. Need a fresh start with credit? The Premier card offers a fixed 13.99% APR. Both require credit approval. Apply today at financialpartnersfcu.org. Financial Partners FCU. Member NCUA. Equal housing lender.
At FM Investment Services, we continue to serve and advise our clients with dedication and experience, and our team includes 2 registered investment professionals. Lee Flickinger, with over 30 years of experience helping clients navigate their financial journeys, and Lori Garwood, bringing more than 25 years of investment expertise to the table. Together, Lee and Lori are committed to helping you achieve your financial goals, and supporting them is Tina Marbaugh, Administrative Assistant, who has 4.5 years of experience in the investment field. Call us today, 260-368-9939 to schedule your consultation. FM Investment Services, experience you can trust, advice you can count on.
Do you need repairs done on your farm equipment or grain handling equipment? Maybe you need steps or a railing made, livestock gates, or your wife's favorite chair. Ironclad Metalworks is who you need. We specialize in agribusiness welding and fabricating. We have the skills you need to get the job done correctly, from existing equipment repairs to new fabrications. No project is too big or too small. We can do it all. Do you have an idea but can't seem to bring it to life? Stop by and let us help you make your ideas a reality. Come see us at 620 Berne Street in Berne or call 260-525-0471.
Here at the local Keystone Energy office in Monroe, our drivers, service technicians, administrative assistants, and sales staff are centered on you. We work hard to meet your energy needs with superior products and exceptional service.
We are here to lead with purpose, serve with impact, grow responsibly with our local community, embrace our roots and humble beginnings.
Keystone Cooperative Monroe team is centered on you.
Krukeberg Auction and Realty of Decatur is dedicated to providing you with a grand auction experience. Their stellar team has over 100 years of combined listing and sales experience, specializing in auctioning homes, personal property, land, farms, equipment, antiques, and business liquidations. Licensed in Indiana and Ohio, call Krukeberg Auction and Realty at 724-7402 or stop by 1030 South 13th Street in Decatur. Make the best choice by making Krukeberg Auction and Realty your first choice for a grand auction and realty experience.
Passion. It's inside the barn at 5 a.m. It's dirty boots, calloused hands, and the energy to keep going. Passion is every step, again and again. Passion. It's giving it the best you've got. It's hard work that pays off. Show right. Feed your passion.
Leaky Farms Trucking, LLC is located outside of Berne, Indiana. Leaky Farms Trucking specializes in the transportation of ag and general commodities with a wide range of dump, belt, hopper, dry, van, refrigerated, tanker, and flatbed trailers. We would like to wish good luck to all 4-Hers in the fair this year. Give John or Ted a call for any of your upcoming transportation needs. John at 260-525-4748 and Ted at 260-849-0770.
Entering the ring for Class 1, Adams County born and raised. We have Tinley Fox. Hazel Fox. And Connor Lehman. We need Class 2 AOB heifers, make your way to the holding area. Class 2 AOB heifers, make your way to the holding area. The Class 1 champion Adams County born and raised heifer banner is sponsored by Dr. Kent Lehman. Tonight we want to welcome Lee Rinker from Windsor, Illinois. He's made the trip over here to judge our beef show. We want to give him a warm welcome of applause.
Well, it's certainly a pleasure to be here this evening at the Adams County Fair. Boy, I tell you what, as you walk into the ring here, very, very exciting. I always know, just in judging quite a few shows, when you come over to the state of Indiana, just a tremendous amount of community support. And so certainly looking forward to this evening, the cattle show, and to get to see what the young people have diligently worked on all year. And so we start off this afternoon. We've got bred and owned within Adams County. And so if you're a breeder of the heifers that are out here, it's great pride for you. It's great pride for the showman, and it's great pride for the young people out here guiding these heifers. And so I think it's always interesting when you start off with a division like this, because you're kind of greeted with some challenge. Challenge comes in, I think, several different ways. And the fact that we've got multiple ages that are represented out here, we've got multiple genetic populations that are out here, and then there are different stages in terms of their production. And so as you look at all three of these cattle, I certainly think there's tremendous strengths, and also at the same time we've got some area spot or two that maybe you want to tweak on them. And so I won't tell you which one's champion and reserve just yet. I'll just walk through and kind of detail what I see on the group of cattle out here, but I really enjoy all three of them a great deal. But we'll start off here, young lady out front with the all-black heifer, tremendously stout and tremendously powerful. Would probably label her as being the real brood cow within the group. Just awesome in terms of her body shape and just her substance there at the ground. With that, if you watch the heifer out on the go there, maybe just a little bit coarser in a few spots. Her shoulder wants to lay out into her just a little bit broader. She's got just a little bit of navel underneath, and then as you watch her hind leg goes north and south, I think it travels far enough. You get behind her, maybe starts to lose her coordination there just a little bit, but tremendously bold and powerful. Again, very cowy. We've got a red and white one here that's very intriguing in terms of her balance. I like her extra substance underneath her there. She's probably better in terms of her top line balance than the other heifer that we just described. Where I want to pick on her for a bigger heifer like that, she probably needs to be a little bit softer in her mid-body. I wish her flank would sit into her just a little bit softer there as well. And then as you watch her hind leg go, if we could make her just reach just a little bit longer step off of her hind leg, that would be my only criticisms. But very up-headed, has a neat look and nice balance comes along there. And then we've got a young gentleman here in the blazer and the cowboy hat with a little shorthorn heifer calf out here that to me is balanced. She's feminine, she's soft, and she's smooth. She's very coordinated in terms of her travel there. I appreciate that. Maybe one little thing I would pick on her is the upper part of her pin set maybe wants to round just a little bit off the top of her hip. And so please, if you would, put your hands together. This is our first division at the Adams County Fair. Your bred and owns. Give them a nice round of applause.
Our champion, Adams County born and raised heifer, was exhibited by Connor Lehman, and the reserve champion was exhibited by Tinley Fox, and Hazel Fox was third. And once again, that banner was sponsored by Dr. Kent Lehman. Entering the ring now, we have Class 2 AOB heifers. Entering first, we have Jonathan Borney. We have Tinsley Sharp. We have Max Adams. Jasper Shuck. Well, and for Class 3, we will need the Class 3 Hereford heifers to make their way to the holding area. Class 3 Hereford heifers, please make your way to the holding area. Once again tonight, we have Luke Rinker with us tonight. He grew up on a diversified grain and livestock operation and has built a lifelong passion for the livestock industry. He attended Lakeland College and the University of Illinois, where he was a member of both schools' nationally competitive livestock judging teams. There he learned his degree, a bachelor's degree in ag education from the University of Illinois before completing his master's degree at California State University. Prior to returning to the family farm, Lee spent 10 years teaching in the departments of animal science at Cal Poly and the University of Illinois. During that time, he also coached the nationally recognized intercollegiate livestock judging teams at both universities. Today, Lee is the co-owner of his family's Angus operation, Can-Am Cattle Company, and throughout his career, he has evaluated numerous national, state, and regional livestock shows. Once again, thank you, Luke, for coming here to judge this show for us. Also, any of the beef exhibitors tonight who are interested in participating in showmanship, if you haven't already, you'll need to see Lindsay up here at the stand to sign up for your class.
I always think it's interesting, every county, every fair always has maybe just a different ring size and maybe orientation. So it just takes a few classes to kind of figure it out. But as we transition into the heifer show here, just a beautiful lineup of AOB heifers out here, and probably similar to our last division. Maybe just not all peas in a pod in terms of their shape and just consistency across the board. We do have some variation, yet still just a tremendous amount of quality. And so please help me congratulating these young people. I think this is a very, very good division. The one I end up landing on, she's the first one that came in here. She's going to leave here, the first one within this division. The young gentleman there up front with the all-black heifer, just tremendously powerful. She's got a fresh coat of hair on her there. I think feet and legs there that they reach and flex very appropriately. Maybe dial her back just a little bit in terms of her condition, but I think that heifer is awfully stout and just tremendously powerful. She comes out of this division rather handily, in my opinion. I think for reserve, things become closer between the young gentleman there with the Char composite heifer and the high main red heifer right behind her. They're very different in terms of what they offer. To me, although the composite heifer is probably just a little harsher in terms of her body, I think her structure and probably her comfort level is why she ends up in reserve. I think particularly when you get in behind this heifer, she's quite a bit square in terms of her rear foot. I think her top line balance comes together just a little bit neater. She's smoother there at the base of her shoulder. Young gentleman here with the red heifer. She's bigger bodied. She's more powerful. I like that about her. The heifer, when you get right in behind her, she's thicker to the upper part of her hip there. To me, you transition all the way down to the ground. If you can watch her as this heifer wants to leave you there, she probably wants to plant and push just a little too much off of her rear toe there. I would just like to square her up if we could. But again, you can go back and forth on that particular pair. Both heifers are extremely high quality. And then we close here with a Galloway heifer that, to be honest, I would say just more from a management piece, maybe throws her a little out of balance. She's got a little bit of bloat on her left side there, but a nice fresh coat on her. She's highly feminine. If we could just get her top line to come together just a little bit nicer there on the go. But please put your hands together. A very nice AOB division.
Placings for Class 2. Your champion AOB heifer was exhibited by Jonathan Borney. Reserve champion was exhibited by Jasper Shuck. Third place by Max Adams, and fourth, Tinsley Sharp. Entering the ring now, we have Class 3 Hereford heifers. First, we got Caleb Minger. Followed by Tucker Fiesel. The champion AOB heifer banner was sponsored by Adams Swine Farms. We want to take time to thank some of the sponsors of our Adams County Beef and Starter Calf Project. A&M Schaefer Farms, Adams Swine Farms, B&C Farms, Bath State Bank, Bloom Family, the Bullenbacher Farms, Borney Farms, Creek Curve Farms, Deer Haven Farms, Double L Farms, Dr. Kent Lehman, Eddie O'Donnell, Farm Bureau Insurance of Adams County, Financial Partners Federal Credit Union, Helena of Craigville, KBL Transport, and Kelly Decatur Auto Mall. I want to thank all them sponsors of the Adams County Beef and Starter Calf Project. We'll need Class 5 mini AOB heifers to make your way to the holding area. Class 5 mini AOB heifers, please make your way to the holding area.
We get into our second breed here. We can actually put her right behind. We've got a nice February heifer and a nice March heifer again. Very different, I would say, in probably what they represent and what they offer. To me, the young gentleman up front, his heifer is probably just a little bit tidier, more feminine in terms of her head, the top side of her neck there, more length of spine. But I think more importantly for this stage of more maturity, just compositionally, I probably like where that that heifer's at. Now, she's not perfect in terms of her hip and her hind leg, how she wants to hit the ground there. I'd like to soften her up if we could, just a little bit. But again, I think femininity and composition, in my opinion anyway, really guides the pair. And then we've got a young gentleman here with a dark goggle-eyed heifer, tremendously big-bodied. She's really an easy fleshing type of a heifer, but at the same point in time, it probably leads to her undoing just a little bit. She wants to get maybe just a little jowly down into her jawline there. I'd like to clean her up in terms of her neck and clean her up in terms of her navel there, but extremely easy fleshing type of a female. The only challenge is she's got a face that only a mother could love, and so just want to make her a little bit more feminine if we could. But please put your hands together for both these Hereford exhibitors.
Placings for Class 3 Hereford heifers. Your champion was exhibited by Tucker Fiesel, and the reserve champion was exhibited by Caleb Minger. That banner was sponsored by Nussbaum Mechanical. Entering the ring now, we have Class 5 Mini AOB heifers. The first exhibited by Benjamin Hershey, and then followed by Aubrey Reynolds. We need Class 6 Shorthorn and Pulled Shorthorn heifers. Please make your way to the holding area. Class 6 Shorthorn and Pulled Shorthorn heifers. Make your way to the holding area. We want to also thank a few of our fair sponsors this year. We want to thank F&M Bank for the Grand Champion trophies and auction clerking. First Bank of Berne for the livestock banners, show programs, and auction clerking. C&G Drainage for the Grand Champion trophies. Custom Car Care for the investment checks for all Grand Champions. Helena Chemical for sponsoring the auction meal. Solid Waste District for trash removal. We want to thank R.J. Becker and Sons and Buchanan Sawmill for bedding. We want to thank Trueland for the tractor driving equipment and gators. Nussbaum Mechanical for skid loaders and other equipment. And Fear Power Sports for the use of a Ranger.
We get into our mini division here. I enjoy both cattle, but really enjoy your champion, your class winner, young gentleman there up front with the Hereford. She is very nice. I tell you, you can make her black, you can make her yellow, you can make her 2 foot taller. Regardless, that's a high-quality animal in my opinion. I think she's right in terms of her body shape. She's very comfortable out on the go there. Compositionally, he's done a very nice job in terms of keeping her pretty lean in terms of her chest to her flank. Everything ties together quite nice. Let's give that young gentleman a good round of applause on a division winner. Young lady who's going to end up reserve here within our mini division, I believe it's Spackle Park. Probably just not more immature, I would say, just in terms of this heifer's body. She's not quite as woofy as that Hereford heifer that wins, but she's really nice in terms of her head shape and just her top line balance. I still think very comfortable. She ends up reserved. Let's give her a nice round of applause there as well as she exits the ring.
Placings for Class 5. Your champion mini AOB heifer was exhibited by Ben Hershey. Your reserve champion was exhibited by Aubrey Reynolds. Entering the ring now, we have Class 6 Shorthorn and Pulled Shorthorn heifers. We have Connor Lehman. Then we have Carson Lehman. We need Class 7 Shorthorn Plus heifers. Class 7 Shorthorn Plus heifers. Please make your way to the holding area. Once again, any of the beef exhibitors wanting to participate in showmanship tonight will need you to make your way to the show ring up here to the stand at some point and talk to Lindsay to sign up before the Grand Champion drive for the beef steers. Also, they'll need to know tonight or tomorrow night what you will be doing with your steers that you are exhibiting, whether you're taking them home or going to run them through the auction. You can let them know up here at the stand also.
Well, please, if you would, please congratulate both of these Shorthorn exhibitors. I believe your brothers, right? Your siblings. So we're gonna have a little bit of rivalry here, but I do like the big April heifer here to be your champion within this division. It's not because she's just older. I do think long term, I think she probably is just a little bit softer in terms of her mid body there. I like her top line balance as you watch her parked here on the standstill. As you set her into motion, she probably gathers her spine there just a little bit nicer. She's stouter in terms of her forearms. She's got a little bit more substance underneath her there. The spot or two that maybe I would tweak on her, I'd like to lengthen her just a shade to the upper part of her hip. I think her hind leg travels effectively forward as you get in behind her. I wish she'd plant just a little bit square if we could. Aside from that, I do think that is your champion. That's a very, very nice place to start. Young gentleman in second here ends up reserve with the December calf. She's got her advantages. She's better in terms of her chest and her front end and how it lays on her. Probably a little bit more length of spine there and just a little bit square as you get right in behind her. As you set her into motion, she probably wants to deviate maybe just a little bit in terms of her top line. Her growth bone will slip up there. And again, it's a function of maturity probably, but not as big-bodied as your champion. But please put your hands together. Two extremely high-quality, highly presented Shorthorn heifers.
Placings for Class 6 Shorthorn and Polled Shorthorn heifers. Your champion is exhibited by Connor Lehman. Your reserve champion was exhibited by Carson Lehman. That banner was sponsored by TCB Livestock. The sponsor of our Class 5 banner was Mitchell Enterprises Corporation. We now have Class 7 Shorthorn Plus heifers making their way into the show arena. We have Adeline Jordan and Connor Lehman. We will need Class 8 commercial heifers. Please make your way to the holding area. Class 8 commercial heifers. Please make your way to the holding area. At the conclusion of Class 8, we will be picking the grand champion beef heifer. So we will need the class winners from Class 1, Class 2, Class 3, 5, and 6, and 7. Making your way to the holding area, please.
Again, another pair here, and we're in the Shorthorn Plus division. I like the young lady there up front with the July-born heifer. What's interesting to me, that heifer has zero hair at all. Her ears are even bald there as well. But, you know, what I like about that is what you see is what you get. That's a pretty darn nice one. I think she's got some substance. She's got some foot size there. She's smooth. She's balanced. And probably what I enjoy the most there out on the go as she comes in here and carousels around. She is so comfortable in terms of her top line. She's so comfortable underneath. Ultimately, that is why she wins this division. We've got a little roan heifer parked in right in behind her. Obviously, a little juvenile in terms of her age. I like her refinement. I think long term, she's probably going to be a little bit thicker relative to the heifer that we just described. Probably the one area I want to tweak on her. Her tail head will sit up just a touch, and as you watch her playing on her rear foot there, she needs to sit back into her ankle just a shade. But you know, if that changes long term, I could definitely see switching the pair. But please put your hands together for both Shorthorn Plus exhibitors.
Placings for Class 7. Champion Shorthorn Plus heifer was exhibited by Adeline Jordan. Reserve champion was exhibited by Connor Lehman. That banner was sponsored by Milan Center Feed and Grain. Entering the ring here, we have for Class 8 commercial heifers, we have Lindsay Lefevre. In the holding area, we need the first place class winners from all the heifer classes to make their way there. From Class 1, we need Connor Lehman with your Adams County born and raised heifer. Out of Class 2, we need Jonathan Borney to bring your first place champion AOB. From Class 3, we need Tucker Fiesel with his champion Hereford heifer. Out of Class 5, we need Ben Hershey with his mini AOB winner. From Class 6, we need Connor Lehman with your shorthorn and pulled shorthorn heifer. Then out of Class 7, we need Adeline Jordan to bring your Shorthorn Plus heifer to the holding area. At the conclusion of this class, we will pick the grand champion beef heifer.
Well, this is going to complete our heifer show. This is one of those decisions I'm very comfortable in making, but really, really a nice commercial heifer. Be excited to get her back out here for division. We'll have a greater conversation about her, but please put your hands together. Young lady's done a very nice job with that heifer.
We have our champion commercial heifer exhibited by Lindsay Lefevre. That banner is sponsored by Rockin' Boulder. Okay, entering the show ring for our champion beef heifer, we got out of Class 1, our champion Adams County born and raised heifer exhibited by Connor Lehman. Our Class 2 winner of the AOB class, Jonathan Borney. Coming out of Class 3, we got Tucker Fiesel with his champion Hereford. Out of Class 5, mini AOB, we have Ben Hershey. Out of Class 6, we have Connor Lehman's champion shorthorn and pulled shorthorn heifer. Out of Class 7, we have Adeline Jordan with her champion Shorthorn Plus heifer. And last but not least, out of Class 8, we have Lindsay Lefevre with her champion commercial heifer. At the conclusion of picking our champion beef heifer, we're going to take a short pause for pictures, and then we will start our dairy beef show. Once again, we have Luke Rinker here tonight from Illinois judging our beef show.
Well, as the heifer show comes to a close here at the Adams County Fair, if you would, please put your hands together for each and one of these exhibitors out here. Tremendous lineup that we have. And, you know, for those around ringside, we obviously nickeled and dimed our way here. But as you get out for a grand drive, a tremendous amount of quality, and I want these young people to understand that. It's no surprise when you go to the Indiana State Fair, a bunch of quality sitting there, and it comes out of counties just like this, and so I want these young people to understand that. I think they're just the world of this group of heifers that we have out here. I think they make very, very good show heifers, but I think long-term they've got the right type of just build and practical body type. to be brood cows. And so I want each and every one of these young people to know that, take a tremendous amount of pride in the animal that you're leading around ring size here, because I certainly do think they're very, very fitting. And so with that, I always like to, back in a champion drive, especially with this kind of a lineup, I do want to go back through them and just describe them just a little bit more. I think we've got a really nice comparison and contrast that we can have. But we'll start off, young gentleman, the cowboy hat, would have been the champion bred and owned here within Adams County. Really a nice shorthorn heifer. She's very good in terms of her structure. She's right in terms of her feet and her legs. Her lines and proportionality is something I really, really enjoy. I think her front end, her chest to her flank, to her mid-body, everything balances up extremely well. And so that young gentleman should be awfully proud of that heifer. A little bit more age, a little bit more maturity. Young gentleman that came out of the AOB division. She's probably the biggest bodied, biggest footed one that we've got out here within this particular lineup. I love her power. I love her body shape. And I think she's still a female that when you get off to the side of her, as she's on the go there, she's got enough reach and she's got enough comfort in her skeleton. The only thing that I think critics can say, and I see it too, with that added power, her shoulder probably sits out just a little bit broader, but she matches it in terms of the broadness or stoutness that she's got to her hip. That's a really highly presented one that I'd be awfully proud of as well. Young gentleman with the Hereford, that one won her particular breed because compositionally she was a little bit more right in terms of just being a little bit leaner. She's a little bit bigger in terms of her kind. Out here, she probably gives up just a little bit in terms of body shape. She's just a shade tighter off of her hip and her hind leg. Young gentleman with the mini Hereford. For those who haven't seen very many of these mini Herefords, I would like to compare her to other mini Herefords. We put her in that population, and I think your enjoyment factor goes that much further. I think this heifer is right, again, in terms of body shape and comfort level, still very feminine for her breed, and I think compositionally, I think young gentleman's done a very nice job in putting that heifer together, and so my compliments to him. We've got young gentleman down here with the purebred shorthorn heifer. That was two different styles of heifers. If you reflect back and think about that pair, I like this heifer because she had more volume, she's got more body, she's better in terms of the center part of her top line compared to the other heifer, and she had a little bit more foot size there as well. Little thing I would say about her, she maybe wants to round to the top part of her hip there, and if we could just square her up a little bit off her rear foot as you watch her go away from you, but I think a killer look there from a profile. We've got a Shorthorn Plus here, again, not blessed with very much hair, but doesn't need it. Tremendously big-footed, very, very comfortable. She's got a feminine look to her face there. There's other cattle, as they go away from you, they're probably just a little bit stouter in terms of their pin set, maybe just a little bit wider. I still think she's got enough. Very, very comfortable and sound in terms of her skeleton. And then we finalize the conversation here. A young lady with a commercial heifer. She's kind of the opposite. She's quite a bit stouter. She's probably the biggest topped and just thickest ended heifer out here. And I think it makes sense within that commercial division. We've got just a little bit more breed variation to play with. Probably the one thing I would say about this female is she's a little bit tight in terms of her hip and her hind leg. If we just loosen her up in that area, I think that makes her that much better. But just a great lineup. Always enjoy discussing the livestock out here. Please, one more time, put your hands together, and I'll pick you a top five.
Your grand champion beef heifer was exhibited by Jonathan Berne with his champion AOB heifer. That banner was sponsored by the First Bank of Berne. We'll be bringing Jasper Shuck's second place heifer out of the AOB class. The reserve grand champion beef heifer is exhibited by Connor Lehman with his Class 6 champion shorthorn heifer. That banner was sponsored by the First Bank of Berne. We'll be bringing in Carson Lehman's second place, or reserve champion shorthorn heifer now from Class 6. The third place overall beef heifer is exhibited by Adeline Jordan with her champion Shorthorn Plus heifer out of Class 7. So we will need Connor Lehman's reserve champion Shorthorn Plus heifer to make its way to the show ring. The third place banner was sponsored by Financial Partners Federal Credit Union. Your fourth place overall beef heifer was exhibited by Connor Lehman. That banner was sponsored by Berne Farms. Connor was exhibited as champion born and raised heifer. We'll need Tinley Fox with your reserve champion Adams County born and raised heifer. And then your fifth place overall beef heifer is exhibited by Ben Hershey with his champion mini AOB. That banner was sponsored by Double L Farms. We're going to take a short pause here for pictures before we start our dairy beef show. As we wait a little bit here, I encourage you, if you haven't yet, to visit the Clover Center or the dining hall to get something to eat, help support the 4-H program. But we also want to thank more of our beef and starter calf project sponsors. We want to thank L&E Farms, Leakty Farms Trucking, Lauder Farms, Milan Center Feed and Grain, Mitchell Enterprises, Ms. Lehman, Mole Control, Monroe Livestock Auction, Nussbaum Mechanical, Rediger Farms, Rock and Boulder, Ron Furman, Shaneman Excavating, Steel Farms, TCB Livestock, and Tonner Precision Services. We want to thank all them sponsors of the Adams County Beef and Starter Calf Project. We also want to remind that on Wednesday night at 6 p.m. here in the show ring, they'll have premier showmanship round robin competition. We also want to remind all the people of the Beef Project that are going to be participating in a 4-H auction that you need to help set up at 9 a.m. Thursday for the auction here in the show ring. And then the following day, all 4-Hers are needed. If you're going through the auction, you will need to help with fair cleanup at 9 a.m. on Friday. We also want to thank a few more of the 4-H Fair sponsors this year. We want to thank Leakty Farms for helping with trucking, Lauder Farms with trucking help, Mitchell Enterprises for trucking. We want to thank Lindsay and Katie Bloom for flower boxes around the fairgrounds. We want to thank Nancy Kuhn for providing flowers here around the fairgrounds. Jessica Schultz for decorating the livestock picture taking area. We want to thank the Manley sisters for stage decorations and flowers. We want to thank Branson Jordan for taking the ambassador.
Ms. Lehman Realtors and Auctioneers have been serving this great community since 1960.
We are here to help you through all stages of life.
From commercial properties
to auctions
to farmland and equipment
and owning your first home.
We have the expertise and experience you can count on.
Visit us in person or online at MsLehman.com.
Since opening Miller Land Surveying in 2005, we've grown to not only service Adams County, but the entire Northeast Indiana region. Business growth has led us to expand with additional field crews, advanced technology, locations in both Monroe and Fort Wayne. Miller Land Surveying partners with various clients to aid in residential and commercial real estate transactions, development of schools, industrial parks, subdivisions, various commercial development projects, and more. At Miller Land Surveying, precision and professionalism is where we draw the line.
Any brand, any color. You break it, we'll fix it. Nussbaum Mechanical is located just north of Berne. Along with over 175 years of combined service in the field, Nussbaum Mechanical offers a wide range of rental equipment and attachments. If you're looking to upgrade your equipment or starting from scratch, whether it's new or used, they can help to find the right machine for you. Stop and see the full line of Gale and Manitou equipment with leasing and financing options available, along with a full line of Manitou parts and attachments. Call 260-589-3802 to find out what we have to offer.
Sharing happiness, displaying confidence, and promoting health. Your smile does a lot for you.
And at Riverstone Dental, we make smiles happen.
Across 2 locations at Riverstone Dental, our compassionate dentists and caring staff provides unparalleled care to patients of all ages. Using the latest technology and procedures, we offer an extensive list of general dentistry services. Whether you're stopping in for your routine cleaning and checkup, or you need restorative care, including implants, crowns, bridges, and more, we'll provide quick, comfortable care. Additionally, we perform orthodontic procedures as well. With traditional metal braces or the convenient Invisalign system, we can help you perfect your beautiful smile. Riverstone Dental. We make smiles happen.
Farming is more than a livelihood. It's a legacy. Simplot was founded by a hardworking farmer like you over 90 years ago, and we've been growing America's farms for generations. With local crop advisors grounded in your success, Simplot Grower Solutions is in your fields and by your side. We dig in deep to pinpoint what you need, where you need it, when you need it, even when the forecast is unpredictable.
One is more than a number. It's pride in our history and the promise of what's to come. One farmer, one seed, one season. One changes everything. In 1926, Henry A. Wallace and the founders of Pioneer revolutionized farming, and we've been innovating ever since. 100 starts with one. Our 100th season starts with you.
At Swiss Village, our mission is simple: pursuing life together. Every day, we create a community where life is full, active, and meaningful. Here, neighbors become friends, team members feel like family, and every moment matters. Whether you're searching for a vibrant place to live or a rewarding place to work, you'll find it here at Swiss Village. Swiss Village, pursuing life together. Learn more at swissvillage.org.
Partnerships thrive, integrity leads the way, and dedication meets innovation.
Tried and true. Trueland Equipment. We have the tools and services you need to work the land. A John Deere provider with a broad inventory, assisting you in service and technical support. We respond to your concerns quickly. For all your equipment needs, choose Trueland Equipment, where provider means partner.
We will be getting close to getting started here soon. We will need Class 9 dairy beef steers. Class 9 dairy beef steers, please make your way to the holding area. Class 9 dairy beef steers, make your way to the holding area. Okay, we're ready to get started again. Here, entering the ring for Class 9 dairy beef steers is Austin Frank, Dallas Strom, Eli Nuenswander, and Dallas Strom. These are dairy beef steers weighing between 1,046 pounds and 1,306 pounds. We'll need Class 10 dairy beef steers. Make your way to the holding area. Class 10 dairy beef steers. Make your way to the holding area.
Well, we get into our market steer show. We've got 6 classes of these dairy steers. I believe within this division it's 75% and above, and then we've got a dairy cross division, and then we'll get to the beef market cattle show. But I tell you what, as you get in your first class here, maybe sit back and you kind of adjust your eyes, because we've got a weight range of 1,000 pounds to 1,300 pounds. But as you look out here, quite a bit of difference in terms of frame size. We've got some difference in terms of just cover and natural finish. And I also think we've got some differences just in terms of muscularity. I think it's important, though, to realize within just dairy breeds, we don't have very much variation in terms of how much fat, realistically how much muscle. And so really some balance can guide some of these decisions. But I like the young gentleman there up front. I think his steer probably is the bridger within this particular class. I think we're mid-12s in terms of weight. He's a nicely balanced, nicely presented steer. Realistically, I see him being just a little bit prettier in terms of his profile relative to the steer in second. I think compositionally over his 12th and his 13th, that steer's pretty smooth. He's got some muscle as he leaves you there. I would think just a nice place to start. Young gentleman that comes next, probably the most mid-sized, moderate frame steer. I do like that he's good-bodied, he's smooth, he's consistent in terms of his finish there. Just a little shorter out of his front end, a little bit awkward off of his hip and his hind leg. As a result, he ends up second within this class. We got a brown Swiss that comes next, and what comes along with that is more natural foot size, a steer that's really loose and really athletic in terms of his comfort. You get right on top of him, right in behind his shoulder there. Maybe the steer wants to fade in terms of just muscling right in behind there. I would like to make him just a little bit broader if we could. We've got a young lady that closes here, probably one of the softer-bodied, more practical middle steers out here. Just wish she had a little bit more muscle to go along with it. But please put your hands together. Again, a nice way to start in our dairy show.
Placings for Class 9 dairy beef steers. First, Eli Neuenswander. Second, Austin Frank. Third, Dallas Strom. Fourth, Dallas Strom. Entering the ring here now, we have Class 10 dairy beef steers weighing between 1,380 and 1,474 pounds. Tonight in the show ring, we do have with us one of our ambassador candidates, Alyssa Freakty, the daughter of Brandon and Elizabeth Freakty, a 10-year 4-H member. She's handing out banners and ribbons tonight. We want to wish her the best of luck in the ambassador contest and thank her for being here tonight. We do want to remind all the beef exhibitors, if you're wanting to participate in showmanship tonight, you make your way up here to Lindsay and sign up tonight. We needed to have it done before the start of the Grand Champion beef drive so we can get the heat split. Also, they'll need to know what you're going to do if your beef exhibits, whether you're taking them home or taking them through the auction. In Class 10, we have Cooper Steele, we have Gentry Schaefer, we have Camden Bauman, and Bo Colhagen. We'll also need Class 11 Dairy Beef Steers. Make your way to the holding area. Class 11 Dairy Beef Steers, please make your way to the holding area.
I think within our second class here, we're mid-13s to mid-14s, and so realistically we have a weight swing of about 100 pounds. But I think a really enjoyable class. All four steers just have tremendous amount of merit. To me, the one that just kind of ties and puts everything together, this young gentleman, the pink striped shirt, I think he's got your class winner, and I think he's got your class winner in a hurry. Very, very neat in terms of his lines. He's got a tremendously attractive look. And then when you get your hands on him, the steer's got some natural shape right in behind his shoulder there, and I think squares away with kind of that same look. But very, very nice place to start. I like that one a great deal. I think between 2 and 3, there's certainly a decision to be made. I think both steers, that they kind of fit on different sides of the grid. And what I mean by that, one of the steers is a little stouter and heavier muscled. The other steer probably has just a little bit more covered. You'd expect maybe a bump in terms of a quality grade. I like the steer that's got more muscle to sit here in second. Also, I think he's got just a little bit more natural foot size underneath him. Is he as good in terms of his center body into his flank? Probably not. He's a little bare over his 12th and his 13th, but I do like the fact the steer's got just a little bit more substance, just a little bit more muscle. We've got the steer that comes out here in 3. He is smoother. He is more consistent, particularly right in behind his forerib there. You can kind of see how he rolls up there. And so quality grade's obviously going to be to his favor. At the same point in time, I don't see him probably as naturally as shapely as that steer that sits in second. He gets a little awkward off of his hip and his hind leg. Kind of a big rugged steer here to close with that, to be honest, I wish he was just a little bit more athletic off of his hip and his hind leg. Make him just a shot stouter right in behind his shoulder. But please put your hands together. Class 2 is awfully, awfully good.
Your placings for Class 10 Dairy Beef Steers. First, Cooper Steele. Second, Bo Colhagen. Third, Camden Bauman. And fourth, Gentry Schaefer. We've held Cooper Steele's steer here in the ring. He is our dairy beef rate of gain champion. 3.34 pounds a day that his steer has gained since weigh-in. And to present their award, we have Lydia Bauman here.
On behalf of my family, it is an honor to sponsor this year's Ready to Gain banner in memory of my dad, Mark Bauman. As many of you know, my dad loved 4-H. Every year he would say calf weigh-ins felt like Christmas morning. He looked forward to that day every year because it marked the beginning of Fair Week. Although my dad is no longer here with us, I know he would be proud to continue sponsoring the 4-H community. Through this award, our family is grateful for the opportunity to honor his memory in a place that meant so much to him. Congratulations to this year's Ready to Gain winner, and thank you for allowing us to remember my dad in a special way.
Once again, the Rate of Gain champion was Cooper Steele at 3.34 pounds a day. Congratulations to Cooper, and thank you to the Bauman family for sponsoring that. Entering the ring now, we got Class 11 Dairy Beef Steers. First, we got Caitlin Borney, followed by Eli Newenswander, Gentry Schaefer, and Beckett Ogg. These steers weigh between 1,496 pounds and 1,544. We need Class 12 dairy beef steers to make your way to the holding area. Class 12 dairy beef steers, make your way to the holding area. We want to once again thank some of our fair sponsors this year. We want to thank F&M Bank for the Grand Champion trophies and clerking the auction. First Bank of Berne for livestock banners, show programs, and auction clerking. C&G Drainage for Grand Champion trophies. Custom Car Care for investment checks for all the Grand Champions. Helena Chemical for sponsoring the auction meal. Solid Waste District for trash removal. We want to thank Buchanan Sawmill for bedding. R.J. Becker and Sons for sawdust. We want to thank Truland for the tractor driving equipment and gators. Nussbaum Mechanical for the use of skid loaders and other equipment. And Fear Power Sports for the use of a Ranger this week.
I think a really nice class here, class number 3, and probably just the tightest in terms of a weight spread. I think it's probably the tightest, honestly, within pairs within this particular class. To me, your two up top, if you just generalize them, they look like proud show steers. I think that would be just the greatest way to describe both of these cattle. The differences that I see between them, one's a little nicer balanced, probably a little bit smoother and more consistent. on the other ones, just a little burlier and just a little stouter all the way through. The burly steer is going to win this particular pair today. The young lady there up front, she's done a very, very nice job. I like the look he's got there up front. When you get right into the steer, he's got more musclery designing down his top line there. I think he bases away probably just a little stronger and just a little wider there as well. Two spots I want to tweak on him. I want to tweak on the top part of his hip. How he lands down to his front foot there. He wants to turn out his toes just a little bit. That would be my greatest criticisms, though, on that steer. A very, very nice place to start. Young gentleman made the comment, steer's quite a bit taller than you, and he just kind of laughed. But this is a really smooth-made, a very, very eye-appealing type of a steer. He's probably neater and tighter through his front end. He's better to the top part of his hip in terms of his balance. As you get your hands on him, again, very smooth and very consistent, maybe just a little bit flatter in terms of the shape right in behind his shoulder. But young gentleman's done a good job with this steer in terms of presentation and presenting him. Give him a nice round of applause there. We've got two steers here towards the end, 3 and 4. We'll generalize this pair of steers too. A little bit bigger in terms of their frame size. Steers that probably are just a little bit leaner in terms of their cover. What's the deciding advantage between the two? I think this steer in 3, he's just a little grizzlier in terms of his bone. He's got more substance. Naturally, the steer's got more shape right in behind his shoulder. The same point in time, I want to make him just a little bit softer in terms of his rib cage there. I'd like to make his hind leg plant with just a little bit more set there as he goes, but I did again think that steer had just a little bit more muscle. Probably a steer that comes next here, maybe a little bit easier moving in terms of having a little extra set. At the same point in time, he's a little bit longer in terms of his toe. As the cattle trace away from you, he's probably just the flattest in terms of his natural shape. But please put your hands together. Again, this would be class number 3 within our dairy steers.
Placings for Class 11. First, Caitlin Borney. Second, Becca Dog. Third, Gentry Schaefer. And fourth, Eli Nuenswander. Entering the ring now, we got Class 12 Dairy Beef Steers. Class 12 Dairy Beef Steers. Entering first, we have Camden Selking. Cooper Steele. Alexandra Bauman. And Lydia Bauman. These steers weigh between 1,560 and 1,586 pounds. We'll need Class 13 Dairy Beef Steers. Make your way to the holding area. Class 13 Dairy Beef Steers, please make your way to the holding area. Once again, we want to continue to thank the sponsors of this year's county fair. We want to thank Leete Farms for trucking, Lauder Farms for trucking, Mitchell Enterprises for trucking. We want to thank Lindsay and Katie Bloom for fairgrounds, the flower boxes that are around there. We want to thank Nancy Kuhn for providing flowers on the fairgrounds. We want to thank Jessica Schultz for decorating the livestock picture taking area. We want to thank the Manley sisters for stage decoration and flowers. We want to thank Branson Jordan for the ambassador portrait photos and Adams Central Schools for use of the grounds for parking.
as we get the steers in the appropriate order here, really enjoy our class winner. I think he's a steer that, of the class probably naturally has probably just the most base width. He's got the most muscle. And then you throw on top of it, he's one of the nicer looking steers out here. He's smooth. He's consistent in terms of his handle. Young lady does a very nice job in terms of presenting that steer. He is your class winner, and I think your class winner, again, fairly logically. We've got a nice steer here that sits in second that probably this is his best view, and when you get your hands on him. Young gentleman does a good job on the standstill with this calf. I love his look. Again, presentation is awesome. He's got a little extra foot size. Naturally, again, good shape type of a steer. As you get him out rolling there, that's probably where he has just a few setbacks, I would say, in terms of his structure. His shoulder angle will sit a little upright. As a consequence of that, he'll deviate just a little bit behind his shoulder. The top part of his hip needs to be lengthened out. And so, quite frank, he just needs to get out and take a little longer, looser step. Again, on the standstill, he looks like a rock star. And that's where I think the steer in 3 here on the go, he probably moves just a little bit better. His top line balance here from the side, everything stays in check. Compositionally, you get your hands on him. He's not naturally as thick. He's not naturally as muscular as that steer ahead of him. As a result, again, he ends up third there. Still thought he was leaner probably than the steer that's going to end up in 4 here. The steer in 4, a very practical, good-bodied steer, a little plainer through his front end. Would like to make him just a little bit smoother, more consistent in terms of his finish. But please put your hands together. Another very enjoyable class here.
Placings for Class 12 Dairy Beef Steers. First, Lydia Bauman. Second, Cooper Steele. Third, Camden Selking. And fourth, Alexandra Bauman. Entering the ring now, we have Class 13 Dairy Beef Steers. Class 13 Dairy Beef Steers. We have Camden Bauman, Camden Selking, and Cooper Steele. These steers weigh between 1,600 and 1,614 pounds. We'll need Class 14 Dairy Beef Steers. Make your way to the holding area. Class 14 Dairy Beef Steers, please make your way to the holding area. Then at the conclusion of Class 14, we will pick a Grand Champion Dairy Beef Steer. So we'll need to start getting the first and second place steers in the earlier Dairy Beef Steer classes headed towards the holding area.
We've got one more class after this, I believe, but we're starting to jump up there in terms of weight. Obviously, still well within the parameters of industry standards here. But two top pair of steers. I like both of these cattle. They're interesting in the fact that I think they're both muscular cattle, but they're muscular in different areas. I think the steer up front there, he has more spread and he's got more muscle right in behind his shoulder. The steer right behind him, honestly, is a little bit broader and stouter in terms of his pin set. But where I like the class winner, when you get him off to the side here, he's probably better in terms of his mid body. He's just a little fuller in that area. To me, the steer probably just proportions a little bit nicer there on a profile when you get your hands on him. Again, the steer in second here, a notch stouter when you get right in behind the cattle. He's got a beautiful top line. He holds it together extremely well there on the go. You get right in front of him and you get your hands on him right in behind his shoulder, maybe just a little bit flatter, not quite as soft as that steer that goes ahead and wins this particular class. But again, enjoy that top pair tremendously. We've got a steer here in 3 that, boy, I wish we could just shave down his toes a little bit shorter there, and I think that would help the steer get out and reach and grab maybe just a little bit more effectively. But he's a steer that's obviously got some size. He's got some scope, a high cutability steer. Just needs to move just a little bit better.
Placings for Class 13 dairy beef steers. First, Cooper Steele. Second, Camden Selking. Third, Camden Bauman. Entering the ring, we have Class 14 dairy beef steers. We have Oscar Selking, Garrett Rhodes, and Dakota Sprunger. These steers weigh between 1,660 and 1,714 pounds. Once again, at the conclusion of this class, we are going to pick our grand champion dairy beef steer. We'll need the first and second place steers from the dairy beef classes. Out of Class 9, we need Eli Neuenswander with his first place and Austin Frank with his second. Class 10, we need Cooper Steele's first place steer along with Bo Colhagen's second place. Out of Class 11, we'll need first place Caitlin Borney along with Beckett Ogg's second place steer. On Class 12, Lydia Bauman with her first place and Cooper Steele with his second. Then out of Class 13, we'll need Cooper Steele with his first and Camden Bauman with his second place. As a reminder to some of the beef exhibitors, we want to remind that on Wednesday night at 6 p.m., there'll be premier showmanship round robin competition here in the show ring at 6 p.m. on Wednesday. But then also on Thursday morning at 9 a.m., we have auctions set up here in the show ring. All youth who are planning to sell in the auction are asked to assist in setting up. And then again on Friday morning at 9 a.m., they will have fair cleanup. All 4-Hers are needed. Youth selling in the auction must attend or you will have $50 deducted from your auction check.
Our final class and our big heavyweight steers that sit out here and made the comments within the last class. We are still well within industry average, industry standards in terms of what these carcass weights are going to look like. I do like the steer here up front. He is your heaviest dairy steer that we've had, but, to me what's interesting, I think natural frame size, he's probably one of the more moderate frame steers that we've had. That's probably what's enabled him to maybe shut off and plateau there and start to lay down maybe just a little bit more cover, and you can see that in terms of kind of indicators, particularly down into his chest. You get your hands over his forearm. This steer's pretty smooth, but what I like about him, he's got some muscle to go along with it. And he's not overly fat. I still think we're probably around 4/10 in terms of fat on that steer. Probably my biggest little thing I would say about him, he's a little ouchy off of his left rear foot there. He's got just a little bit of a hitch in terms of his get-up. Aside from that, I still think that's a very nice class winner. Give him a good round of applause. The steer here in second, honestly, probably just a little bit leaner, maybe just a little bit crisper, I would say, over his top line, a little bit fresher in terms of his shape. He's a steer that, I wish he would get out and just move probably a little bit more effectively, too, off of his hip and his hind leg. He's not as big-bodied as a steer that goes ahead and wins, but I still think challenges your class winner extremely nice. And we close with a steer that's extremely long-spined, the bigger frame steer within class. The challenge, he's a little bit flatter in terms of his shape there when you get right in behind him. But please put your hands together. A nice close to your Dairy Steer Show.
Placings for Class 14 Dairy Beef Steers. First, Dakota Sprunger. Second, Garrett Rhodes. And third, Oscar Selking. We are now going to pick our champion Dairy Beef Steer. All right, entering the show ring from Class 9, our winner, Eli Newenswander. Out of Class 10, we have Cooper Steele steer. Out of Class 11, we have Caitlin Borney with her class winner. Out of Class 12, we have Lydia Bauman. Out of Class 13, we have Cooper Steele. And out of Class 14, we have Dakota Sprunger. Once again tonight, we have Lee Rinker of Shelbyville, Illinois here judging our beef show. He grew up on a diversified grain and livestock operation that was built on a lifelong passion for the livestock industry. He attended Lakeland College and the University of Illinois, where he's a member of both schools' national competitive livestock judging teams. Lee later earned his bachelor's degree in ag education from the University of Illinois before completing his master's degree at California State University. Prior to returning to the family farm, Lee spent 10 years teaching in the departments of animal science at Cal Poly and the University of Illinois. During that time, he also coached the nationally recognized intercollegiate livestock judging teams at both universities. Today, Lee is a co-owner of his family's Angus operation, Can-Am Cattle Company. Throughout his career, Lee has evaluated numerous national, state, and regional livestock shows. Once again, we want to thank Lee for taking time to come over here to judge our beef show.
Well, please, if you would, put your hands together for your dairy steer exhibitors here at the Adams County Fair. This is a pretty big deal. Most often, as a judge, I think in other states, when you hear you're going to judge the dairy steer show, you kind of roll your eyes and go, oh gosh, what are these going to look like? Coming again to the state of Indiana, like I said, within the Breeding Heifer Show, the dairy steers are darn good. I think when you go to the state fair, whether you're there in person or you're watching it on Walton Webcast, probably one of the toughest shows to win, in my opinion, is the Dairy Steer Show. And what I love about the group of cattle that you have sitting out here, back in my academic career, we'd sit back and we'd look at a lot of carcasses, and obviously we'd look at quite a few dairy carcasses. I can tell you, looking out here, you have cattle that are probably 3 to 4/10 in terms of fat. If they're going to keep up for the ribeye requirement, they're going to be around a 3/8 in terms of their yield grade. And so where I go with that, realistically, we don't have very much variation in terms of carcass. And I know as I went through, I made some subtle calls there, but realistically, within a population of especially these Holstein cattle, genetically, there's not a whole lot of variation. And so what are the separators after we get past that? Well, what I enjoy about this group of cattle out here, yes, they're dairy steers, but they darn sure look like show cattle out here. These young people have put a tremendous amount of time, a tremendous amount of effort into this project, and it's certainly reflected out here. And so I want the young people to know that. For your champion in reserve, I think there's a pair of steers that, boy, they're like peas in a pod. I think your third overall is a very stylish, attractive steer, and I think 4 and 5 probably gets more challenging in my opinion. But please put your hands together one more time. It's been an absolute pleasure to work through this show.
Your grand champion dairy beef steer is exhibited by Lydia Bauman out of Class 12. We will need to have Cooper Steele second place steer out of Class 12. That banner was sponsored by the First Bank of Berne. All right, your reserve champion dairy beef steer was exhibited by Cooper Steele out of Class 13. That banner was sponsored by First Bank of Berne. We will need Camden Selking second place steer out of that class. All right, the third overall dairy beef steer is exhibited by Cooper Steele, also out of Class 10. That banner was sponsored by Lauder Farms.
Yes.
We'll bring Bo Colhagen's second place steer out of Class 10 in. Your fourth overall dairy beef steer is exhibited by Dakota Sprunger out of Class 14. That banner is sponsored by Shaneman Excavating. We'll bring Garrett Rhodes' second place steer in. Then fifth place overall was also exhibited by Cooper Steele, his second place steer from Class 12. That banner was sponsored by Ron Furman. We're going to take a few minutes here for pictures, and then we'll proceed to the dairy beef cross steers.
Arnold Lumber at 425 Winchester Street in Decatur is a complete building center for all building contractors and do-it-yourselfers. We supply every facet of building supplies that you will need to complete your next project, but we can also help you get the work done. We install doors, windows, overhead doors, and roofs locally when the materials are purchased from us. We install pole barn packages all over Indiana, Ohio, and southern Michigan, and we provide rooftop delivery with shingle purchases. Open 7 to 5 Monday through Friday and 7 to 12 on Saturday. Let us help you with all of your construction project needs.
At Zerker's Best One, we've changed our name to Best One of Monroe. Still the same family ownership, simply a new name. Same great people, same great service, same great prices. You know who we are.
We are serving customers first.
We are trustworthy.
We are passionate.
We are committed.
We are community focused.
We are locally owned.
We are the family you've depended on for over 70 years. We are Best One of Monroe.
Best One of Monroe, celebrating 75 years of selling tires, serving people.
Are you in the market for a used vehicle, or are you looking for a rental van or trailer? CMA Truck and Auto provides a variety of vehicles in a variety of price ranges, and Swiss City Vans offers rental services for a range of equipment. We invite you to visit us in person at the south edge of Berne on US 27, or to visit us online at cmatruckandauto.com, where you can sort our inventory by price range. You can also visit our Facebook page, where we keep in touch with our customers and promote giveaways. Enjoy the vehicle buying process without hidden fees or high-pressure sales at CMA.
Cooper Farms raises turkeys, hogs, and chickens for table eggs, using innovative, sustainable practices that protect our land, our water, and our animals. With over 2,500 team members and around 450 contract family farmers, we produce the highest quality essential food ingredients and products. Our family shares this legacy of stewardship with families, team members, our customers, and the community.
Where you're going and how you get there matters. Along the way, the right financial guidance can make all the difference. That's why there's Everence. Together, charting your path with a full range of caring financial services. For starting out, growing your future, caring for loved ones, and sharing with others. In a life of faith and impact, it's your financial journey. Let's go. Visit us at everence.com/burn.
Take charge of your finances with Financial Partners. FCU's You Choose Rewards credit card options. Choose a fixed rate card with an APR as low as 8.00% for consistent payments. Need a fresh start with credit? The Premier card offers a fixed 13.99% APR. Both require credit approval. Apply today at financialpartnersfcu.org. Financial Partners FCU. Member NCUA. Equal housing lender.
At FM Investment Services, we continue to serve and advise our clients with dedication and experience, and our team includes 2 registered investment professionals. Lee Flickinger, with over 30 years of experience helping clients navigate their financial journeys, and Lori Garwood, bringing more than 25 years of investment expertise to the table. Together, Lee and Lori are committed to helping you achieve your financial goals, and supporting them is Tina Marbaugh, Administrative Assistant, who has 4.5 years of experience in the investment field. Call us today, 260-368-9939 to schedule your consultation. FM Investment Services, experience you can trust, advice you can count on.
Do you need repairs done on your farm equipment or grain handling equipment? Maybe you need steps or a railing made, livestock gates, or your wife's favorite chair. Ironclad Metalworks is who you need. We specialize in agribusiness welding and fabricating. We have the skills you need to get the job done correctly, from existing equipment repairs to new fabrications. No project is too big or too small. We can do it all. Do you have an idea but can't seem to bring it to life? Stop by and let us help you make your ideas a reality. Come see us at 620 Berne Street in Berne or call 260-525-0471.
Here at the local Keystone Energy office in Monroe, our drivers, service technicians, administrative assistants, and sales staff are centered on you. We work hard to meet your energy needs with superior products and exceptional service.
We are here to lead with purpose,
serve with impact, grow responsibly with our local community, embrace our roots and humble beginnings.
Keystone Cooperative Monroe team is centered on you.
Krukeberg Auction and Realty of Decatur is dedicated to providing you with a grand auction experience. Their stellar team has over 100 years of combined listing and sales experience, specializing in auctioning homes, personal property, land, farms, equipment, antiques, and business liquidations. Licensed in Indiana and Ohio, call Krukeberg Auction and Realty at 724-7402 or stop by 1030 South 13th Street in Decatur. Make the best choice by making Krukeberg Auction and Realty your first choice for a grand auction and realty experience.
Passion. It's inside the barn at 5 a.m. It's dirty boots, calloused hands, and the energy to keep going. Passion is every step, again and again. Passion. It's giving it the best you've got. It's hard work that pays off. Show right. Feed your passion.
Leaky Farms Trucking, LLC is located outside of Berne, Indiana. Leaky Farms Trucking specializes in the transportation of ag and general commodities with a wide range of dump, belt, hopper, dry, van, refrigerated, tanker, and flatbed trailers. We would like to wish good luck to all 4-H'ers in the fair this year. Give John or Ted a call for any of your upcoming transportation needs. John at 260-525-4748 and Ted at 260-849-0770.
Ms. Lehman Realtors and Auctioneers have been serving this great community since 1960.
We are here to help you through all stages of life.
From commercial properties
to auctions
to farmland and equipment
and owning your first home.
We have the expertise and experience you can count on.
Visit us in person or online at MsLehman.com.
Since opening Miller Land Surveying in 2005, we've grown to not only service Adams County, but the entire Northeast Indiana region. Business growth has led us to expand with additional field crews, advanced technology, locations in both Monroe and Fort Wayne. Miller Land Surveying partners with various clients to aid in residential and commercial real estate transactions, development of schools, industrial parks, subdivisions, various commercial development projects, and more. At Miller Land Surveying, precision and professionalism is where we draw the line.
Any brand, any color. You break it, we'll fix it. Nussbaum Mechanical is located just north of Berne. Along with over 175 years of combined service in the field, Nussbaum Mechanical offers a wide range of rental equipment and attachments. If you're looking to upgrade your equipment or starting from scratch, whether it's new or used, they can help to find the right machine for you. Stop and see the full line of Gale and Manitou equipment with leasing and financing options available, along with a full line of Manitou parts and attachments. Call 260-589-3802 to find out what we have to offer.
Sharing happiness, displaying confidence, and promoting health. Your smile does a lot for you.
And at Riverstone Dental, we make smiles happen.
Across 2 locations at Riverstone Dental, our compassionate dentists and caring staff provides unparalleled care to patients of all ages. Using the latest technology and procedures, we offer an extensive list of general dentistry services. Whether you're stopping in for your routine cleaning and checkup, or you need restorative care, including implants, crowns, bridges, and more, we'll provide quick, comfortable care. Additionally, we perform orthodontic procedures as well. With traditional metal braces or the convenient Invisalign system, we can help you perfect your beautiful smile. Riverstone Dental. We make smiles happen.
Farming is more than a livelihood. It's a legacy. Simplot was founded by a hardworking farmer like you over 90 years ago, and we've been growing America's farms for generations. With local crop advisors grounded in your success, Simplot Grower Solutions is in your fields and by your side. We dig in deep to pinpoint what you need, where you need it, when you need it, even when the forecast is unpredictable.
One is more than a number. It's pride in our history and the promise of what's to come. One farmer, one seed, one season. One changes everything. In 1926, Henry A. Wallace and the founders of Pioneer revolutionized farming, and we've been innovating ever since. 100 starts with one. Our 100th season starts with you.
At Swiss Village, our mission is simple: pursuing life together. Every day, we create a community where life is full, active, and meaningful. Here, neighbors become friends, team members feel like family, and every moment matters. Whether you're searching for a vibrant place to live or a rewarding place to work, you'll find it here at Swiss Village. Swiss Village, pursuing life together. Learn more at swissvillage.org.
Partnerships thrive, integrity leads the way, and dedication meets innovation. Tried and true. Truland Equipment. We have the tools and services you need to work the land. A John Deere provider with a broad inventory, assisting you in service and technical support. We respond to your concerns quickly. For all your equipment needs, choose Truland Equipment, where provider means partner.
Entering the ring, we have Class 15. First, we got Lydia Bauman. Lane Rediger. And Austin Frank. These are beef dairy cross steers. They weigh in between 1,156 and 1,296 pounds. We need Class 16 beef dairy cross steers to make your way to the holding area. Class 16 beef dairy cross steers, please make your way to the holding area. We want to take this chance to thank some sponsors of our 4-H beef and starter calf shows and the program. We want to thank A&M Schaefer Farms, Adams Swine Farms, B&C Farms, Bath State Bank, Bloom Farms, Bullenbacher Farms, Borney Farms, Creek Curve Farms, Deer Haven Farms, Double L Farms, Dr. Kent Lehman, Eddie O'Donnell, Farm Bureau Insurance of Adams County, Financial Partners Federal Credit Union, Helen of Craigville, KBL Transport, and Kelly Decatur Auto Mall. We want to thank all these sponsors who helped make the 4-H Beef and Starter Calf project go.
we transition into another market show here, we now have dairy cross steers, and so I believe the percentage is 74.9 or below, but they got to be above 25. And so, yeah, I'd say with that extra real estate in terms of genetics and what we can feed in here, obviously composition is going to change, obviously phenotype is going to change, and I certainly think that's the case as you look down the lineup of cattle out here. I like the young gentleman with the Blaze heifer here to go ahead and win, and why I think she wins this particular trio of cattle. I think she's probably the nicest structured. I think she's probably just the loosest in terms of her step. But what I really like about her is she's a good-bodied heifer, really smooth and consistent in terms of her finish there. She's got some muscle right in behind her shoulder there. The spot that maybe you tweak on her with that, she probably could have just a more defined shape down her top. She's a little throaty there maybe up front. But I think aside from that, again, a good set of feet and legs, good-bodied, easy feeding type of one to go ahead and win. I'm going to tell the young gentleman here next, and I don't mean it in a negative way, but this steer, I don't think we want to think about this, but that steer is going to make a really neat rug. He's a cool brindle steer. I think you could have a lot of value there, but on foot, if you evaluate that steer live, he is tremendously heavy muscled. He's the shapeliest steer out here. He's the boldest, any way you want to describe that. I certainly think that matches that steer's description. He's just a little tighter in terms of his structure. We close here with a steer that's probably a little higher percentage in terms of dairy. And what I mean by that, naturally he's going to give up some muscle, but he's a steer that's very, very nicely balanced relative to those other cattle ahead of him, though he needs to move away maybe just a shot wider.
Placings for Class 15 beef dairy cross steers. First, Lane Rediger. Second, Austin Frank. Third, Lydia Bauman. Entering the ring, we got Class 16 beef dairy cross steers. We have Ainsley Caffey, Brianna Sin, and Brooklyn Sin. These steers weigh between 1,340 pounds and 1,340 pounds to 1,406 pounds. We need Class 17 crossbred steers to make your way to the holding area. Class 17 beef dairy cross steers, make your way to the holding area. We want to thank a few more of our sponsors of the Beef and Starter Calf Project. We want to thank L&E Farms, Leakty Farms, Leakty Farms Trucking, Lauder Farms, Milan Center Feed and Grain, Mitchell Enterprises, Ms. Lehman, Mole Control, Monroe Livestock Auction, Nussbaum Mechanical, Rediger Farms, Rock and Boulder, Ron Furman, Shaneman Excavating, Steel Farms, TCB Livestock, and Tonner Precision Services. Thank you to all them sponsors who helped the Beef and Starter Calf Project.
Well, class number 2, I told the young lady, this steer's got a really cool color pattern, and that's not why he wins. I think that's just a caveat to why he wins. But, why the steer wins, in my opinion, he's just a really nicely balanced steer. He's got a proud show steer look. He's a nice complement of muscle and finish. And above all, I still think structurally he ties together quite nice. And so very logical find, in my opinion. And then we get down to a pair of twins showing steers that, honestly, they've got a little similarities there too. But I think the difference between the cattle out here, both of them maybe want to open up in their shoulder and just pitch their shoulder angle just a little awkwardly. I still think the young lady here in second, her steer relative to the 1 and 3, he probably gets off of his hip and his hind leg there just a little bit looser, just a little bit more mobile. We've got the steer here that closes that, to me, he's got more muscle relative to his counterpart there. He just needs to move a little bit better off of his hip and his hind leg to move up any higher in class. But please put your hands together for class number 2.
Placings for class 16. First, Ainsley Caffey. Second, Brianna Sin. Third, Brooklyn Sin. Entering the ring now, we got class 17 beef and dairy cross steers. We have Hallie Schaefer, Lydia Bauman, and Ainsley Caffey. These steers weigh between 1,416 pounds and 1,448 pounds. We need class 18 beef dairy cross steers. Please make your way to the holding area. Class 18 beef dairy cross steers. Please make your way to the holding area. Once again, if any of the beef exhibitors are interested in participating in showmanship tonight, you need to come up here to the announcer's stand to sign up. Also, we need to have that done before the Grand Champion Beef Drive starts. That'll be the end of the time to sign up. They also need to know whether you're going to be taking home your steers or if you're going to be running them through the auction. You need to know by tomorrow night after the close of the starter calf show if possible.
Well, of the afternoon, of the evening, we probably land on a pair of probably the most cantankerous steers that we've had all day. I feel real bad. I've been there before, and so I understand that feeling. But, regardless, I think we have a tremendous amount of quality of steers and cattle out here that, different shapes, different sizes. Obviously, we've got different color patterns out here, and so that's, to me, probably what becomes just the most interesting. But I do think a logical place, in my opinion anyways, to go ahead and start off here with the red and white steer up front. Is he perfect from the side in terms of his loin and the top part of his hip? He's probably a little round in that area, but always remember muscles round. And I think when you get your hands on that steer, he easily probably has the biggest loin. He's the boldest. He's the stoutest all the way through. Still very comfortable. Just from a balance standpoint, we could probably lay down his top line just a little bit nicer there. A young lady that comes next here, the black and white steer, easily of the class, probably the trimmest when you get your hands on him. He's the typiest in terms of his front end, and we can actually let him go out. But really a nicely balanced steer there. He's just a little bit flatter relative to the steer that goes ahead and wins. He's not quite as big-footed. And then we've got a red goggle-eyed steer here that, if we could merge him together with the steer in second, we'd have a very, very dominant class winner. I like that he's the biggest footed calf out here. He's soft and deep in terms of his mid-body. He's just a little flat when you get right in behind him there. I just need to amend him in that one area.
Placings for Class 17 Beef Dairy Cross Steers. First, Ainsley Caffey. Second, Lydia Bauman. And third, Hallie Schaefer. Entering the ring, we've got Class 18 Beef Dairy Cross Steers. We have Gavin Gratz, Erica Martin, and Caleb Selking. These steers weigh between 1,454 and 1,554 pounds. We will need Class 19 Beef Dairy Cross Steers to make your way to the holding area. Class 19 Beef Dairy Cross Steers, make your way to the holding area.
we continue to jump up here in weights, and I've said it before, I still think within this class it's an interesting dynamic, because there's things that I really enjoy and love about each and every one of these steers, and maybe just a spot or two that I would tweak. I'll tell you that the one thing that I want to tweak on the young lady steer that goes ahead and wins here, I'd like to change him. Maybe just the orientation or how he kind of postures off of his hip and his hind leg. I'd like to shave down his toes just a notch, but I think once you get past that, he is the hybrid between the steer in second and the steer in three. He's got the muscle of the steer that sits there in second, and yet still has the body, and he still has some athleticism of the steer there in three. And so I like that young lady steer to go ahead and win. Again, I think compositionally kind of guides that decision. We've got a steer here in two that, I think, again, he probably needs to have his feet trimmed there just a little bit, but he's got a good practical look here from the side. He's the fattest steer within class, and, I think that's okay. He probably needs to have just a little bit more muscle to go along with it when you get right in behind him there, but I do think he has more cover. He's got more finish. I think he's more of a choice-favorable steer probably relative to the orange and white steer that's going to close. The orange and white steer, I think he's a safer structured steer. He's got a nice top line laid into him there. He's got a little bit more bone and foot size. The steer's a little bit bare over his 12th and 13th. I like that he's trimmed, but he needs to have just more cover to go along with that added frame size. But please put your hands together. I believe this is Class 4 of your Dairy Cross Steer Show.
Placings for Class 18 Beef Dairy Cross Steers. First, Erica Martin. Second, Caleb Selking. And third, Gavin Gratz. Entering the ring now, we're going to have Class 19 Beef Dairy Cross Steers. We got Addie Schaefer. Gavin Gratz. And Hallie Schaefer. We need Class 20 Beef Dairy Cross Steers to start making your way to the holding area. Class 20 Beef Dairy Cross Steers, please make your way to the holding area. At the conclusion of Class 20, we will be picking the Grand Champion Dairy Cross Beef animal at that point. These steers weigh between 1,560 pounds and 1,600 pounds in this class.
We'll keep them in the same order that they came in. And young lady here up front, kind of the white-chested or white-flanked, white-switch steer. You know, although he probably needs to just mellow out a little bit in terms of his top line on the go, and I think it's probably reflective. He's a little tight there from behind. I think once you get past that, his top line maybe just doesn't collect as nicely there on the go. I think this is your class winner because I think his body shape, his stoutness, his squareness, just his broadness of build everywhere. I think compositionally he's a really fresh handling steer. He's got a tremendous amount of shape right in behind his shoulder. I think it becomes fairly logical in my opinion anyways. I think between 2 and 3, although the steer in second probably of the class is the lightest muscled, he still has enough muscle, and where he has the greatest advantage over the 1 and 3, I think he's a safer structured steer. He's a nicer balanced steer that just ties together a little bit stronger right in behind his shoulder there. The young lady who closes here with the white sheath steer, easily the biggest footed. He is the biggest loin steer. And I love so many things about him. It's just he comes into a few more pieces. And what I mean by that, right in behind his shoulder, he has a tendency to maybe want to deviate there just a touch. He'll round to the upper part of his hip. And so kind of an interesting class dynamic in my opinion.
We have held Gavin with his steer here because we want to recognize him for being the rate of gain winner for the dairy cross and the beef steers that we have here in the show today. This steer gained 4.14 pounds a day since weigh-in. We want to recognize him. That banner is presented by Adams Swine Farms, and we congratulate Gavin on that award. Placings for Class 19. First, Addie Schaefer. Second, Gavin Gratz. Third, Hallie Schaefer. Entering the ring is Class 20 Beef Dairy Cross Steers. We have Addie Schaefer, Erica Martin, and Garrett Rose. These steers weigh between 1,614 pounds and 1,666 pounds. At the conclusion of this class, we are going to pick the grand champion beef dairy cross market animal. So we will need the following steers from the earlier classes. Out of Class 15, we're going to need Lane Rediger with your first place steer and Austin Frank with your second. Out of Class 16, Ainsley Caffey with your class winner and Brianna Sin with your second place steer. Out of Class 17, Ainsley Caffey again with her first place steer, and then Lydia Bauman with her second place. Out of Class 18, we'll have Erica Martin and Caleb Selking with his second place steer. Then out of Class 19, we need Addie Schaefer's first place steer, along with Gavin Gratz, second place steer. To make your way to the holding area, please.
I think a fitting close to our Dairy Cross Steer show here. A young lady up front with a black and I think a fitting close to our Dairy Cross Steer show here. A young lady up front with a black and white steer. She's going to provide your class winner. I think smooth and very consistent in terms of his handle. He's a well-balanced steer. He's safe and still very good in terms of his structure. I think he most appropriately probably fits this weight bracket, and so a very nice place to start, in my opinion. 2 and 3, honestly, I go back and forth. The young lady here with the brown and white steer is going to end up in second, and although he's probably, again, third in terms of muscle, I think compositionally for his weight, his frame size, he's probably just a little bit nicer blend in my opinion. I think he's a little trimmer in maybe the right areas. I still think a steer that's really good structured and takes a long, lengthy stride there from behind. He ends up in that spot. And then we've got a young gentleman here with this little orange steer. He's a very intriguing calf. I believe the young gentleman said his name was Roy. Roy's got muscle. Roy has really got a lot of muscle. He's thick. He's powerful. He's kind of a mid-frame size steer, and in terms of just his overall height, to me, I'd like to make him just a little bit leaner if we could. On the go there, the steer wants to jiggle just a little bit more than I would say ideal. I'd just like to make him a little bit leaner. I think that would help drive up his yield grade, my opinion.
Placings for Class 20 Beef Dairy Cross Steers. First, Addie Schaefer. Second, Erica Martin. Third, Garrett Rhodes. We're now going to work on picking our grand champion of the Beef Dairy Cross Market Animals. Entering the ring, we have out of Class 15, our class winner, Lane Rediger. Out of Class 16, we have Ainsley Caffey. Out of Class 17, we have Ainsley Caffey.